Cord and see what it looks like. Okay, convert to an improper fraction. So this is where you use what I call the big C. You just put a C right there. I'll draw it a little bit bigger. That'd be 5 1/3. So all you do is, I'll take the red marker, draw a big C, put an arrowhead on it, and put a plus there. And then you just do it. Put a dot here. 3 times 5 is what?
15.
15 plus 1
16.
is going to be 16. So that'd be 16, and then you just bring the 3 over. And that is the improper fraction. And remember, I told y'all, the only time you're going to see this is with a unit of measure, or just the test question or the homework question or whatever starts with it, and they want you to either end with it or they want you to change it. But most of the time, the 5 1/3 is usually when you have a unit of measure. Okay? All right, that takes care of that one, hopefully. Next one. I'll delete that one so I won't have to do it over. All right, next one, 5.3. I guess these are in order. 5.3, 43/13. 43 in the book, number 13 online. Right as a fraction. Well, this one's pretty simple because the good thing is that they've got it. There's 2 types of these questions. I think this one's okay. I don't think you have to do anything special. But you've got 0.725. Well, this is in the 10th place. This is in the what? 100th place, and this is in the what? 1000th place. So you can rewrite this by putting 725 over what? Over 1000. Now you reduce. How do I know I can reduce? Because ends in 5 and 0, your divisibility chart tells you that both are divisible by 5. So I'm just going to divide by 5. I'm not going to try to reinvent the wheel. 5 will go in there 1 time, 2 times, 5 times. 125. 5 will go in there 2 times, so that'd be 200. Somebody check my math. I think that's right. 2 times, 5 would be 1,000. I can keep going. I know 25 will go into both of these. How do I know that? Well, how many quarters in $1.25? 5. How many quarters are in $2? Let me check. 145. Okay, sorry. I suck. 145. Okay, so now, let's see, that will be 5. I'll do by 5 again. 5 will go in there 3 times, or 2 times. And 5 will go in there 9 times. Somebody check me. And 5 will go in here 40 times. And I think that's your final answer. Thank you, whoever said that. 5 will go in there 1 time. That'll leave 22, not 12. I was thinking 12. Sorry. Okay. Now, how do I know that was done? Somebody tell me what's the little flag that tells you it's done? 29 is a prime number. Now remember, Google prime numbers. If you want to learn your prime numbers, Google them. And it'll give you a list. Print it out and memorize them if you want to. Okay, that takes care of that one. Next one. Next one is 5.3, 81/23. 81/23. There's a test question. Now, we haven't covered, we have covered multiplication. Good. That's a test question right there. That's one I would put on a test in a heartbeat. Now, I need to talk a little bit about, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, because we've got to talk about that. And that's, I think that's 5.3. So, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and go into 5.2 a little bit, on this problem. Now, in mathematics, you have two operations. Oops, I can't write. You have two operations. You have addition and what? Subtraction. And then you have multiplication and what? Why did I put those together? Why did I put these two together and put these two together? Why didn't I say addition and division, multiplication and subtraction? Why did I put these two together? And why did I put these two together? Anybody want to take a stab at it? Why didn't I put division and addition and put the addition and division up here and put multiplication and subtraction down here? Why didn't I put subtraction and multiplication here and division and addition here? Why didn't I put minus here and division here and then multiplication and addition here? Why did I put these two together and why did I put these two together? Mm-mm. Why? They're opposites. They undo each other. Now, think in real life, in your family, who are the two people that fuss and fight all the time? That are blood related? Mom and sister. No, brother and sister. Blood related, okay? Okay, you could say mom and sister, yeah. Okay, but most of the time it's brother and sister, all right? I like to tell students brother and sister, all right? So these two are brother and sister. If you have brother and sister in a mathematical sentence, you go left to right. Brother and sister go left to right. You ever seen, I'm a Facebook nut, you ever seen on Facebook where they have this math problem and down below it you got 15 different answers?
Yeah, the comments.
That's why. Because people don't know that one little rule. If you have 6 minus 4 plus 7 in parentheses, you got to go left to right. Period. And 90% of the population don't know that.
Yeah, they would be like, multiplication comes first.
Yeah, nope.
You got to go left to right.
That's true if you have, hold on. This is good 10% of the time. Because most of the time you don't see a problem like this. Most of the time it's like this up here. Left to right. I'll give you an example. Let's say we have, I don't know what I just said, but 4 minus 3 plus 7. Okay? Now, sometimes you can do, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, and you get it the same as if you do left to right, but not all the time, especially with fractions. Okay? So, I'm going to go 4 minus 3 is what? 1. 1 plus 7 is 8. Now that is the right answer. I don't care what you say, that is the right answer. Now if you did it the other way, negative 3 plus 7 is what? 4, and then 4 minus 4 or whatever, you might get some other number or whatever. No, you get 4 plus 4. In this case it comes out correct. But that's not going to happen all the time. Okay, that's why you got those things on Facebook. All right? Same thing here. The division is where you really see a difference. Sometimes. It depends on the numbers. I'm going to pick 2 times 7 divided by 3. Now division is where it really happens, because if you don't do it the right way, that division is going to mess up your world. Okay? Or it's going to, if you do it the wrong way, it's going to mess up your world. In this case, if you do it the right way, it's going to make a fraction, because, if you go from left to right, it would be 2 times 7 divided by 3. 2 times 7 is what? 14. 14 divided by 3 is 14 thirds. But if I switch it, and I do this, this is 14 thirds. If I switch it and go this way, 2 divided by 7 times 3, then I'm going to have a fraction when I start off. 2 divided by 7 times 3 over 1. You see? Left to right. If you have brother and sister, you go left to right. If you have a crisscross of these guys, these are like cousins from each other. If you have cousins, and that could be right here. Addition and multiplication or subtraction. You go to Aunt Sally's house. Okay? Mathematics, you go this way. Algebra, you go this way. We're in mathematics right now, so we go left to right. So if I have a problem like this, and I can't see it, but I'm going to just make a whole number. I'm going to say 3 plus 5 times 10. And I'm going to do it in red. 3 plus 5 times 10. Now, do we have brother and sister, or do we have cousins? We have cousins, see? Plus and what?
Multiplication.
Multiplication, so we got cousins. So you do, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally first. And please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. My comes first. So 5 times what?
10.
50. So 3 plus 50 is 53. Now do it the other way. What's 3 plus 5? 8 times 10? That's why you got those things on Facebook. Now you put these two together, you do a problem where you have something in the middle that's brother and sister. Oh, it'll throw a monkey wrench in the whole thing, and everybody will get 4, and there'll be one person on Facebook that gets 6. And everybody will say, you're stupid, and the 6 is the one that's right. Okay? Now, I guarantee you somebody in here is going, oh my God, I never knew that. Well, like I said, 10% of the time, you never see problems like this. And out of the 10%, most of them will work. It's just how they're set up, especially division. Division will make a lot of things different. Okay? There's a story. We're going to come back to this in just a minute. I'm going to put it up here for you because somebody may tell you this story. There's the state of South Carolina. And right here is Clemson. I'm sorry, Clemson. Since ESPN started coming to Clemson, they pronounce it Clemson because they don't want to pronounce the P, because all the toothless rednecks around here, we pronounce the P, Clemson, So they don't want to be associated with us, so they go Clemson. They sound like they're retarded when they say that. But have you ever listened to them when they're doing a basketball game or here we are in Clemson, South Carolina, and I'm like, where? Anyway, and there's Columbia, and of course, there's a football game in Columbia, and it's Clemson against USC. And these three guys go down to Columbia, and they're going to, and there's different versions of the story. You could put Atlanta Falcons and Charlotte, whatever, Panthers or Carolina Panthers or whatever they are. Anyway, you could change it around, whatever. And they go down and they get a hotel room. And back when this story was actually made, motel rooms were real cheap, okay? So $30 or $50 or whatever the case may be. But 30 works out real good. You could use 90, you could use 100, you can use anything you want to. But 30 works out real good. There's 3 guys, so $30 for a room for one night. So the guys get together and they say, okay, well, that's $10 a piece. And they give the old man in front, in the desk, $30, 3 $10 bills. Okay, everybody with me? 3 times 10 is 30. All right. So about 20 minutes later, the old man up front says, oh gosh, that's room 340 or 242. That's the one that's above the trash can. You know, the big dumpster outside. And we only let people have that one for $25. So I need to give them boys $5 back. So he talks and he gives his grandson, who's sitting there reading a comic book or whatever, he says, go take this $5 bill back up to room 27 and give it to those guys. And the little boy runs upstairs and stops about halfway upstairs. And he says, I can't give $5 to 3 guys. So he runs back downstairs and said, Granddad, give me 5 ones. So he gives him 5 ones. And he runs upstairs, about halfway upstairs. What does he say? How am I going to give 5 ones to 3 guys? So he sticks 2 in his pocket. Okay, you with me? He puts 2 in his pocket. And he gives each one of them $1. Everybody with me? Now, how much did they pay each for the room now since he gave them $1? $9, right? So minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, $9. 9 times 3 is what? Huh? 27 plus the 2 in his pocket is what? You win all kind of beer on this thing. Or money. Because you got to ask the person, where's the extra $1? Where's the missing $1? Now, when I was told this a long time ago, I didn't have a math degree. I didn't have old man with 2 teeth in his head told me this story, okay? And he was dumb as a rock, okay? Why? Because when I asked him, I said, well, what happened to Miss Dollar? He said, it's a black hole in math. No, it wasn't. It's not a black hole in math. Can somebody tell me where the missing $1 is? Or why you come up with 29? Nobody's going to tell me? Order of what? Order of operations. What did I do first? I subtracted before I multiplied. That's why. Okay? So think about that. I subtracted before I multiplied. So 5 minus 3 plus or times 6. 5 minus 3 times 6. I'm just making up something. All right, what's 5 minus 3? 2 times 6 is what? 3 times 6 is what? Huh?
18.
5 minus 18 is what? 2 different answers. Okay, so you need to know how to do order of operations, especially when it's cousins. Okay? Now that's 5.2 basically. So let's go back to our handy dandy question. Capiche? Do you understand? Okay. So let's go back to this question. And now we know if we can do parentheses or what? I'm sorry. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or left to right. So 1 plus 1/3 plus 1/5 times 10 over what? Okay, so what do we do first? Multiply. So you take your handy dandy red pencil, and you put parentheses around that. And I'm going to focus on that now. I'm going to put the 1/3 out here, and then I'm just going to focus on this. So, can I cancel anything? Yes, you can cancel the 5, so I'm going to use my blue pen. I can cancel the 5, and that'll be a 1. And that'll be a what?
2.
Or you can multiply straight through and reduce at the end. I don't care which one you do. So, I get 2 over what? 2 over 23. Well, I might as well quit now, because I have no idea what the common denominator. Well, luckily they're 2 what? 2 prime what? Numbers. So what do you do when you have 2 prime numbers? Oh, I told y'all this in the last class. You multiply them together. So what is 3 times 23? Dang old 69. Yes, Hubert. No, Hubert. You suck, Hubert. 69. Thanks for the interaction, y'all. This class goes by a whole lot faster when y'all sit there like a bump on the log. 3 will go into 69 how many times? 23 times. 23 times 1. 23, Hubert. Thank you, class. 23 will go into 69 how many times?
3.
Thank you. One person that talks the whole hour. 3 times 2 is 6. Now what's 23 plus 6?
9.
And you feel good about yourself. Reduce if needed. I'm not going to worry about reducing. Make sure you do that on the test if you can. I don't think 29. I think 29 is what? Prime. So if 69 is divisible by 29, you might can reduce, but it's not. Does that help you out? All right, let's try nerding.
So when we're gonna be taking the test on the computers. So like we have to like simplify it as low as it possible.
Yeah, always, and that's true with any fraction.
Okay.
When you write the answer down, you always simplify. Now, when do you need you only need a mixed number when it asks for it or unit of measurement. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if you have a proper or an improper fraction, you always reduce it to the lowest terms, always.
Okay.
All right, that takes care of that one. We already went through today's lesson. Well, we'd probably do these problems up here next. All right, that takes care of that one. Now the next one is 5.3, 85/24. 85/24. Another order of operations problem. All right, give you a chance to write it down. Oops, I suck. Where'd it go? There it is. All right, there we go. That is 13/45 divided by 2/15. You got to look closely. I can't blow it up. Let me see. Hold on a minute. See? See the difference? The plus is a little bit darker. That's why I can tell it's a division symbol, because those 2 dots. I wish they'd put them a little bit further away, but oh well. If you need me to blow it up any further, if you're technically hard to see, and there. You see it's a division symbol, okay? All right. I'm gonna go back down now, because if I write on it with it blown up like that, I can't see what I'm doing. All right. So what are you gonna do first? You got cousins or you got brother and sister? You got brother and sister, so you go left to what?
Right.
Left to right. 13/45 divided by 2/15. This is a prime example of one that would be, you get different answers because people think you do. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Left to right. So I'm going to do this first. I'm going to take my red marker and I'm going to put this in parentheses. So what do you do here? Somebody tell me what you do. Okay, I couldn't hear you. What?
You keep 13 over 45, multiply it by 15 over 2.
Good. By the reciprocal. 13 over 45 multiplied by 15 over what?
2.
Oh my goodness, look at there. You can cancel. Couldn't cancel before, now you can. So I'm going to take my blue marker and I'm going to cancel 15 once. 15 what? 3. I'm going to go over here. 13 times 1 is what? 13, Hubert. And what's 2 times 3? And now I'm going to multiply by what? And what happens to the 2 and the 6? You can cancel if you want to. And what's 13 times 1? I'll do that one for you. All right, what's 3 times 45? 130, 35? Somebody check me. That should be your answer. Look at that. I'm not picking on whoever sent it, but the reason I'm saying that is because you put that on Facebook, you're going to get 15 different answers. 1, because people don't know what the heck they're doing. 2, people don't know about the left to right. Okay? Now, Hubert, you're wrong. That's not the way you do things, all right? Well, let's just fix that right now. Let's go up here. And if I'm wrong, that means I'm going to get the wrong answer right here. And you're right, I'm wrong. So I'm going to hit fraction. And I'm going to put a 13 on top. And I'm going to put a 135 on the bottom. How do I know it's not reducible? 13's prime. And I hit enter. I got it right. So that means that if you didn't get that, you suck. And it also means that I'm right about the left to right, doesn't it? And I guarantee you somebody in here, you don't have to raise your hand, you don't have to say anything, but I guarantee you somebody in here didn't know about that. Because a lot of people don't. Now you can go on and be an engineer. All right, next question. My son is 11 years old, and he got a bad report card in a couple of subjects, and one of them was math. I told him, I said, well, you're a dumb loser. No, I didn't tell him that. I told him, I said, what part of the math took you down the most? He said, long division. I said, well, in order to understand long division, you got to know your multiplication tables. You got to know your additive tables. You got to know your subtractive tables and your division tables with single digits, up to 12 or 15. No, I just don't know. I just don't know. That ex-mother-in-law and ex-wife's coming out, knows everything, okay? I said, no, you need to learn. I said, what's 15 divided by 3? Hold on. 12? He didn't know. So Friday, we started. And I got an app. I put an app on his phone, put a thing on the computer, and we also got flashcards. And we went over every single one of them from Friday to yesterday morning. Last night, he did 4 sections of long division homework by himself after we went over long division. We only went over long division 15 minutes. He didn't know what? He didn't know those tables. Now, the reason I'm telling you that is a lot of people go through whole life It's either they don't know the tables, or they didn't know about the left or right, or in some cases, people don't know how to add or subtract fractions. They didn't learn how to find the greatest common divisor. And it changes people's lives when they find out that they can actually what? Do math. And it does happen. I'm one of them. It took me till first variable calculus to start putting 2 and 2 together and say, okay, I got it now. I understand the algebra now, and I understood, okay, now I understand it. And I started to connect the dots. Some people connect the dots in algebra. Some people connect the dots later on because they're slow, like me. It took me a while, but when that light turned on, I was like, all right, this is good. I can do math now. And he found that out. And a lot of people find it out when you find out the things that they don't tell you or you didn't listen to, one of the two or both. So it happens. All right, this one is 5.3, 90/25. Test question. This is a test question. Let's check and see if it's division. I think it is. Yep. That middle operation is division. I will leave it so you can write it down right quick. And yes, sir, this is a test question. Go ahead and start it. First thing I would do is make everything a fraction. What do I mean by that? The 4, put it over 1, and the 6, put it over 1. And then you need to subtract, get a common denominator. Should you get the same denominator all the way through? Yes or no? Yes. Do you have to? No. Why? Because if you're lazy, you're going to get the same, not lazy, but if you're thrifty, whatever, you're going to get the same one because you won't have to do an extra step. If you don't get the common denominator, say you do 10 on the first one and 5 on the second one, then you're going to have to get a common denominator, or it may cancel since it is division. But just to make everything nice, I'm going to get a common denominator of 50. No, common denominator of 10, and that's what I'm going to do. And you'll see what happens when you get the same denominator all the way through. You're going to see what happens. Now, could you get a common denominator of 10 on the left and a common denominator of 5 on the right? Yes, but you're going to have an extra step somewhere down the line because you didn't get the same denominator. So 6 of one, half dozen the other. It doesn't matter as long as you remember that step. Okay? Might as well, while I'm thinking about it, get the roll out. I got to hurry up and start doing this on the computer. Well, I mean, taking a roll by the computer, but it's easier for me to do this.
The one on the right is addition, right?
Say again?
The one on the right, that's addition.
Yes, yes. That's the difference. But if you see the difference between the plus and the division symbol, I like to say that the plus is a little bit darker, but it looks darker, but that's, and I think it's a little bit lengthwise, vertically, I think it's a little bit bigger. I don't know. All right, how many people we got? It's 10 in this class. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Everybody's here. I ain't got that right. I just put, everybody came today on the computer. All right, y'all finished? Should be. I'm just kidding. Oh, let me reduce it down. And I do expect, when I assign the homework for fractions, I expected questions. Always do. Always get them. So here we go. 4 over 1 minus 1 over 10. Okay. Divided by 6 over 1 plus 1 over 5. And I'll tell you the next biggest mistake students make on these. All right? Y'all know in your notebook paper you got these blue lines? Like that? This is what y'all try to do. y'all try to do this whole problem. 4 minus 1/10 over divided by 6 plus 1/5. Oops, 6 plus 1/5. Especially the guys. Y'all try to do this one problem in the next step. In between those little lines. The guys are notorious for this. They think they can do it in 2 steps. Okay? If you suck at fractions, then you need to write out every what?
Step.
And then what do you do as you practice more and more? You start whittling out some of those steps. And eventually you get down to the bare steps. That is called learning. That's how it's done. Same way with what? Piano. Anybody play the piano? Did you play Beethoven's Fifth the first time you sat down? No. Well, you suck.
Yes.
My daughter, love her to death. She wanted to take piano lessons. We started taking her piano lessons. I'll never forget this. First time she went to practice, she sucked. What'd she do? She threw a temper tantrum and went in the room and cried. What did I do? Kept watching TV. And then when she finally finished crying, when she came in, we had to talk. And we talked about practice. You don't, unless you're, okay, there are people that are gifted, okay? There are people that can play a piano and not even take the first, okay, lesson. Okay, there's people like that. 1 out of 1,000,000. Okay, so the rest of us, we got what? We got to practice. If you don't practice, you're going to suck. Same thing with math. Same thing with reading. Same thing with English. Same thing with people. For some reason, we got people around that think they don't have to do that. So I'm going to go ahead, go through here, and I'm going to get a common denominator of 10. This is the way I show students to do this. I put 10s all the way across, and then I start to convert. 1 will go into 10 how many times? 10 times 4 is 10 will go into 10 one time. 1 times 1 is 1 will go into 10 10 times. 10 times 6 is 5 will go into 10 2 times. 1 is 2. Now you can do your subtraction and your multiplication. They're in parentheses, so it really doesn't matter when you do it. So you could do the plus first, and this doesn't matter because they're in their own little world. So 40 minus 1 is what? 39 over 10. No yawning in class, so you can know your answer and you can't yawn. You got 2 left. All right, 60 times 2 is 120 over 10. And now,
It's added, right?
oh, I multiplied, sorry. Thank you. I suck. All right, 62 over 10. And now you've got a place where you need to divide. Now remember, there is no division. So you multiply by the what? 39 over 10 multiplied by 10 over what? Look at there. Getting those common denominators work. Look at there. Those 10s go out. Now, if you had different denominators, then you would have to do another step of reducing. And what is 39 over 62? Pretty much 39 over 62, unless it's reducible by 13 or 3, which I don't think it is, but y'all can check it. 39 over, well, is that it? That's the answer up there, isn't it? I don't know. Yeah, it don't have a little red triangle in it, so that means that it's the answer. And the only thing that'll go into 39 is 3 and 3. 3 won't go into 62 because it goes evenly into 6, and then that leaves the 2. So that's not going to work. I don't think it's. I'm trying to think. No, 39 won't go into 62, so you're done. That's another test question. So you got like 2 test questions today. You should feel good about yourself. Next question. Let's go down here and pull up our handy dandy email. Oh, great. They done took me out. Love being on a dinosaur campus. One day, when I'm probably in my wheelchair, all these rooms will have these, and all the teachers will be using stuff like this, and the emails will be, the thing will be logging on for the whole hour. You can log on for the whole hour because you're pulling these emails in. One day, I'll probably be in a wheelchair before some of these teachers. We have a teacher here that requested a VCR.
Ew.
We also had another teacher that requested overhead. I ain't kidding you, boy. I just imagine their house at home. They probably got a TV still with a coat hanger on it or something.
Just look like a giant box.
Yeah. We had one at the Pendleton campus request a blackboard. Where did they get these people? All right. I'm sorry. I think that, there's a place for that, when the transition, but 20 years after the transition, I think it's a little bit moot. Good gracious alive. Oh, my calculus class, they must be working on their homework. See all those web assigns? I have calculus tomorrow. They're doing their homework today. That's their questions. All right, let's see. Where are we at? Math 155. And I have no idea which one we just did. Can somebody tell me what number we just did? That 25? Okay. 90/25. Delete. Okay, this is 90/25 again. Let's see if it's different. If it's different, I want you to do it. Why? Because it's a test question. I think, yeah, it's different. It's same operations. 3 minus divided by 7 plus. So I want y'all to do that one. And if you can't do it, just consider yourself what? A failure. Exactly.
Did you zoom it in a little bit?
Huh?
Did you zoom it in?
No. Strain your eyes. I'm kidding. I'll blow it up for you. Just don't be one of them people when I blow it up and it goes off the screen. Don't say, I can't see it. Won't even give me a second to. Divas. Good gracious. They think they're going to get me to do their homework is what they're going to do. I'm not that stupid. They got 20 questions, they're going to send in 20 homework requests. They think I'm stupid enough to do all of them. Y'all done? It's not going to ride. Only thing I hate about blowing it up. All right. Three over 1 minus 4 over 9 divided by 7 over 1 plus 1 over 3. Get a common denominator of 9. Common denominator of 9. And 1 will go into 9. 9 times 3 is? 9 will go into 9. 1 times 4 is? 1 will go into 9. 9 times 7 is? 3 will go into 9. 3 times 1 is? And you see why people, try to do fractions and not know your multiplication tables. Can't do it. You'll be sitting there going, 9 times 3 is 25? Yes, ma'am.
Where did you get 9 from?
Common denominator of these denominators. Remember us doing it in the first section? 3, 9. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and sometimes 13. 3 will go in here. That's a 1 and what? 3, 3. That comes down 1, 3 will go in there one time. You got your 1s. Whenever you get your 1s, that's your common denominator. Remember doing those? Greatest common divisor. Remember me saying don't worry about the least common multiple? Well, that's why. Because the greatest common divisor is what you want. All right, so we got this down here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to erase this. Good golly molly. Okay, 27 minus 4 is 23 over 9 divided by 66 over 9. Now it's when I take it over here, I'm going to flip it and multiply it. So 23 over 9 multiplied by, I'm going to put that in blue, and I'm going to flip this 9 over 66. And of course, those go out, and you're left with 23 over what? And what is the flag that tells you you're finished? The 23. Unless that's a 46 on the bottom, or another multiple of 23, you're done. So you go up here, because you want to feel good about yourself, and you type in fraction bar, and you do 23 over 66, and you feel good about yourself. So you don't put too much makeup on and look like a Oompa Loompa. Or put $20,000 worth of stereo equipment in a $1,000 car. And the engine's smoking blue smoke, like burning. Need to put that money in the engine instead of the speaker system. Idiots. All right. I'm sorry, there's some people, I don't make fun of people, but the ones that hang a sign around their neck that says, please make fun of me, I make fun of. And putting $10,000 worth of tires and rims and speakers in a $1,000 car that's blowing blue smoke, you're an idiot. You got a sign around your neck that says, I'm an idiot. All right. Somebody disagrees with me. Okay, she's going to have to stop doing it. I'm not doing all her homework. All right. I'll just send Hubert all these questions, and then I'll just write put the answers in. I'm not doing that. All right, delete that one. And now we got 5.3, 93, 27. 93, 27. Oh, these got words in it. Might as well quit. Don't even try it. Why? It's a word problem. Can't do no word problem. Huh? I know. Bump that. All right, I want to ask you a question. A ladder is got 20 rings on it, or 20 rungs, whatever you call it. And each rung is a foot between each other. How tall is the ladder? 20 foot. Okay? What did you do? You multiplied 20 times what? 1. Let's do it another. Let's say you've got 20 rungs on a ladder, and let's say between each rung is 2 feet. How tall is the ladder? Good job, 40 feet. You multiply. So let's reread the question. A stairway has 14 stairs, 7 5/8 inches high. What are you going to do? Well, what'd you do with 20 times 2? You multiplied. So what are you going to do here? Multiply. You just did a word problem. Oftentimes, when you get to a word problem, always go to the side and think of another problem like it in real life and see what you do with that problem. If you multiply, then you're going to have to multiply. Same thing in any other operation. Okay? So, you're going to multiply 14 times 7 5/8. First thing you're going to do is make 14 into a what? Fraction. Second thing you're going to do is change 7 5/8 into what? A mixed, an improper fraction. Thank you for the interaction. I appreciate that. Now we got 2 people that will interact. Good gracious. What if we get 3? Wow, yeah. Person sent 31 questions. I ain't doing 31
She
questions.
sent 31 questions.
Yeah, same person.
That's the whole homework.
How about this?
32 questions.
Ooh, wee. Oh, wow. She might as well not even do it. She gotta send all the questions.
She's still sending them. Lord have mercy. So 14 over 1 multiplied by 7 5/8. Do it step by step. First thing I do is I make everything a fraction. Second thing, I'm going to change this into an improper. 14 over 1 multiplied by 8 times 7 is what? 56 plus 5, 61. Can I cancel anything? Well, the 4 and the 14 and the 8, 2 will go into 8 4 times, 2 will go in here, what? 7 times 61, 427, somebody help me out.
It is.
427 over 4. Now, let's read the directions. What is the vertical height? What does this tell you? It's the unit of what? You don't go into Lowe's and ask for a 427 force ladder. You got to give it a unit of measurement, so you've got to change it to a mixed number. So, how many times will 4 go into 4? 1 time. How many times will 4 go into 2? It won't. How many times will 4 go into 27? 6. And leave what left over? Check and make sure it's the 3 remainder. And what's the unit? 106 inches. And what's 12 times 6? 12 times 6 is 72. So, you got to do another 2 feet. So, we're probably talking about 8 foot, 9 foot. 9 times 12 is what? Yeah, 9 times 12 is too much. So, it's about 8 foot. 8 times 12 is what? 96, about 8 foot. 8 foot tall. Somewhere around there. But they wanted in inches, so you go in and you change it to inches, or you put it in here. Now it's a mixed number, so you're going to have to tell the, what you call it, that it's a mixed number. You know, sometimes you don't have to. Sometimes you can just type it in a certain way and it'll know it. Like with the slash, it'll know it. But I don't feel like doing that, so I'm going to go in here and I'm going to put a mixed number and 106 and 3 over 4. And hit enter. And we feel good about ourselves. Capiche? Comprende? All right. And let's go to do these up here. I think we did these, right? Both of these we did. Which was that one? 5.310. Nope, this one's out of order. So let me go ahead and erase this one. Okay, this one was out of order. It's put it up at the top because of the 1. So this is 101/28. Oh no, another word problem. Might as well quit. All right, look at it. It says, while on vacation, Janet traveled the full length of the interstate from U.S.-Canadian border to U.S.-Mexican border. See the accompanying map. Oh, Lord. She recorded the accompanying travel times between cities, complete parts A and B. So let's pull up the handy dandy map, because I have no idea what the question is going to ask. California just passed a law that makes it illegal for people to give you a straw unless you ask for it. Those people out there are crazy. Okay? I'm sorry. I lived out there for 6 months, Camp Pendleton. Them people are crazy. They live in a la-la land. You ever seen Rocky 3, where they go out to California with Creed and that man's out there dancing,
Yeah.
looks like this? That's what those people look. They're crazy. Okay, ma'am, we're going to have to arrest you. Why? Well, you're a waitress and we just saw you give somebody a straw and they didn't ask for it. Put your hands behind your back, ma'am.
Yeah, I got the last part wrong.
Okay. So write each of the travel times between cities as a fraction. With minutes represented as a fraction with a denominator of 60, do not reduce. All right. Blaine, Washington to Seattle. Blaine, Washington. Let's go down there and find Blaine, Washington. Blaine, Washington to Seattle. There it is. Blaine, Washington to Seattle would be 1 and 31 over what? 60. So 1, 31 over 60. So you go up here. 1, 31 over 60. (31/60). Second question. Sacramento to Los Angeles. Sacramento to Los Angeles. And I'm looking. Why couldn't they put this in a chart type form? Sacramento to Los Angeles. 7, 3/60, but 3/60 will reduce. 7, 3/60 will reduce down to 1/20th. Somebody help me out. 7,
Wait, it says do not reduce the fractional part of this number.
3 over what? 7 hours, 3 minutes. That's 3/60, which is what? 1/20? Or am I doing something wrong? What'd you say? I'm sorry.
It says do not reduce the fractional part.
Oh, it does. Okay, it wants to keep. Okay, I didn't see that. Oh, there it is. Thank you. So that's 3 over what? 60. 3/60. This question is too busy. I would not put this on a test. It's too tedious. The way it's written right here is too tedious. The way that they have this set up is tedious because you have to type in every single thing. I wouldn't put this on a test. Seattle to Portland is 2 and 48/60. 2, 48/60. Just use your tab key. It's a whole lot easier. Next, Los Angeles to San Diego. Los Angeles, 2:24. Thank you. San Diego. I went to the place there called the Red Onion. Place was wild. That was the first bar place club I ever went to. They had like 3 stories. It was wild. Mirrors all over the place. It was lasers going everywhere. It's called the Red Onion. Why would you name a place the Red Onion? I have no idea. But anyway, never forget that. That's the one place I got out of San Diego is the Red Onion. It's the only thing I can remember out of San Diego. Anyway, I'll shut up. Okay, Portland to Sacramento. Portland to Sacramento. Let's go to this easy place to read. Portland, Sacramento, 11 and 4. 11, tab 4, tab 60. And San Diego to San Ysidro. Okay, whatever you said. Say it again.
39/60.
Okay, how many hours? Is that it? Just 39/60?
Yeah.
See, I could hit 39 and /60 and see it would put it. Okay, now, why do I not like this question? Well, first of all, this is ridiculous. They should have it in a table type. That's ridiculous. The second thing is they should already have these set up as mixed numbers so you could just go through and type in the numbers. I don't like this question. But I mean, I'm glad you sent it, but the reason I don't like it is I would not use it because it takes too much what? It takes too much time. Useless time. And hit enter. Where is check answer? There it is. And you feel good about yourself. All right. Oh, Lord. This thing got 15 parts. I ain't doing it if it's got 15 parts.
You got
Three.
Okay. Okay. What is Janet's total driving time? Okay, add them all up. Okay, Blaine, Washington to San Cedro. Okay, add them all up, right? Okay, give your answer as a mixed number in terms of hour and minutes using the parts from A. Write the expression total driving time. I don't understand what all that's about. Okay, so let's go ahead and, this problem is not a good test question. So you can do it two ways. You can sit here and add them all up, or you can say 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 11 is what? 14. 14 plus 7 is 21. 23, 24. So 24 as far as the whole numbers. And then you have to add up all the what? Fractions. So I'm going to add them all up. 31 plus 8 is what? 48 is 70 what? 79, Hubert. That's right, class. 79 plus 4 is what? 83, Hubert. 83 plus 3 is 86. 86 plus 24 is 110. Somebody check that out for me. 110 plus 139 is 149. Add all those numerators up and see if you get 149 over 60. Somebody check me. Are these hours or miles?
hours.
Oh, I was fixing to say, that's not right if it's miles. 25 miles to go all the way through California, that's not right. Okay, it's hours, okay. Everybody check it, or are y'all just gonna sit there and be quiet? Okay, well, we'll just stand here, because I'm not gonna do it until y'all answer me. We'll just stand here.
That's right.
Thank you. Have to,
But shouldn't it be 23 instead of 24?
okay, let me check. 7 and 2 is 9, 1 is 10, 12, 12 and 11, 12, that'd be 22, 23. Thank you. I don't know where I picked up the extra. Thank you, Miss Shaw. I have to depend on you. I can't depend on anybody else in here. They won't talk. All right, 23. So, how many times will 60, what's 60 times 2?
120.
So, 120 will go into here, right? So, I'm going to go ahead and bump this up to what? 25? And that'll be what left over? 120 be 29 over what?
60.
29 over 60. And the only thing, 29 is a prime. So, that should be your answer. And then you type it in. And that'll be here. So you could type it in 29 and then space 29/60, and it should put it so you can do it that way if you want to.
25.
Where did I get 29? Oh, sorry. Thank you, third person that talks in the class. I appreciate that. Got 3 people that interacts, maybe 4. Thought I heard somebody talk a while ago. 4. Moving on up. 25. I'll bump you. What's the answer?
No, you can type up. Add it up.
It's just
You have to put them in fractions. It says do not perform calculation.
Yeah, I
So
wanted
you
it
just
all
gotta add
out.
it. Yeah.
Okay. They can go jump in a lake, okay? They want you to do, instead of looking at them and adding them, they want you to do this. And let me guess, there's going to be a step C, and you got to add them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. 25. Now, can I type in the answer now?
Yeah.
Am I allowed? Can I be in charge? Thank you. 25 and 29 over 60. Okay. I know this is aggravating, but if you want the 100 that'll bump up your score at the end of the semester, go ahead and do what you need to do to get the check on this, okay? I'm sorry, that question is, the B part is not even needed. So, I apologize for that one. Oh, come on. I just, 25 hours and 29 minutes. What are they wanting? Are you kidding me? They want me to write 25 and 29.
Yep.
Okay, this is insulting y'all's intelligence. I know it is.
I got that wrong. When you type in all that.
Yeah,
Give me like a nice-
the answer is 25, 29 60ths. And if you have that on a test, that's fine. I wouldn't put all this on the test. That's ridiculous. I wouldn't do that question over and over and over. I'd just do it one time, get my points, and go do something else more applicable to being on the test, okay? That was a dumb question. The question wasn't dumb. The way it was written is dumb. Yeah. All right. Let me look at the time. What time are we out of here? Oh, I'm good. I can go ahead and knock these two out. Let's see. 5.265, 5.259. So we'll do this one first. 59/14. It's probably order of operations. Yep. Now, when you're doing a problem like this, and all that looks like, there's one division symbol right here, the division. I'm going to write it big so everybody can see it. Which way do you work? Well, you work your way inside what? And go which way? Out. Inside out. So, negative bracket 17 minus parentheses 7 minus 14 close parentheses squared close bracket. Now, do you have to write it exactly like it is? Yes. Don't just say, oh, well, I'll just put the 2 over here. No, you got to write it exactly. If you're going to rewrite the question, you got to do it exactly. So, bracket, parenthesis, 16 divided by 4, plus 3, close bracket, square, minus 34 over what? 2. Now, I'm going to leave it big there for a second or two, and so y'all can see it, and I'm going to shrink it. Because the main thing you got to remember with these problems is you got to do everything step by step. Now, again, I'm only talking to the people that suck at it. How do you know you suck at it? Well, if you did 2 of these problems and you got them wrong, then you suck at it. And you need to follow how I show you to do it. If you do 2 problems and you get them both right, then you don't suck at it. So I'm going to make it a little bit smaller here. And I'm going to put it, okay, I'll put it right here. Now, please, what does please mean? Parentheses. So whatever's in parentheses, I'm going to do it first. So I'm going to highlight this and this. I'm going to do those first. And I'm going to rewrite it. And this is where the guys that want to do everything between the 2 blue lines, this is where y'all really suck. Okay? Because y'all try to do everything in a little bitty area and it doesn't work. The people that follow the steps that I show you and do it step by step and give yourself enough room to do the problem, you'll get it correct. All right. So negative bracket 17 minus parentheses squared close bracket. Bracket parentheses plus 3 close bracket squared minus 34 over 2. Now, what is 7 minus 14? And what is 16 divided by 4? Now you're ready for step 3. Now, what comes after parentheses? Exponent. Well, you got an exponent you can do up here, right here. That one right there. And negative bracket 17 minus, I'm going to put parentheses right here because I'm showing you that I'm actually doing the problem. So negative 7 squared is what? What's negative 7 times negative 7? Get a positive 49 right there. Divided by, I'm still not through with the parentheses right here. I still got brackets to do because that exponent is outside the bracket, so I got to do the brackets. So what's 4 plus 3? 7, and that's squared, minus 34 over 2. That's step 3. I'll make all that a little bit smaller. That's good. I'll just do this one. There. Okay, I'm going to just go over here. And I'm going to do the inside of those brackets. Negative bracket. What is 17 minus 49? You have $17 in your pocket, and you owe somebody $49. You still owe them 32. Somebody help me out. So that'd be a negative 32 here. Divided by 7 squared is what? But I'm going to put 49 over what? 1 because I've got what? Fractions. Now I've got to have a common denominator of what? 2. So I'm going to take this blue marker, red marker, and I'm going to make that a 2. 1 will go into 2 how many times? 2 times 49 is what? Well, 2 times 50 is 100, minus 2 is 198, right? So that'd be 98, sorry, not 100, 98. So I changed 49 over 1 into 98 over 2, and I kind of skipped a step there. Now let's do the top. What's negative? What's outside this negative? I'm going to put a blue. What is that? That's a negative what?
1.
A negative 1. So multiply. What's negative 1 times negative 32? That's a question. Positive 32. Thank you for the interaction. And what is 98 minus 34? 64? 64 over 2. Now, I'm going to put this in a box, and I'm going over here. And I'm going to change that 32 into 32 over what? 1 divided by 64 over 2. And now what do I do? Multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply by 2 over what? Oh my goodness. Look at there. What cancels? $32 will go into 32 one time. 32 will go into 64 2 times. What's 2 over 2? 1. So your answer is 1. Do you see why you need to do everything step by step with these problems? Now, of course, if you do 10 problems and you get them all right, then you can start on the 11th problem, you can start getting rid of what? Some of the steps. But if you do 2 or 3 problems and you get every one of them wrong, then it's broke. You need to what?
You quit.
You need to, well, quit's a good option. Quit is easy. Okay? Quitting is a good option, or you need to fix it. Okay? My son, before the Christmas break, my son and my daughter both, they've got the same, well, I've developed in them, or they developed being around me, the same sarcastic personality that I have. So my daughter, she'll say, well, I just might as well quit. And I'll say, yeah, that's the best thing to do. And my son, he tried it in class, and that didn't work too well. He said, he got the problem wrong, and he said, well, I guess I just suck. I'm a failure. And the teacher, of course, went, oh my God, no, you're not a failure. Blah, 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 blah. Who told you that? My dad. Hubert comes to the principal's office. So anyway, the story short, they went up to the teacher was concerned. So she went up to the principal and said, I'm concerned. And she said, we got a parent that calls their children failures. And she goes, you're talking about Hubert McClure, aren't you? And she goes, I just thought it was funny. My son, of all places, to call himself a failure, he did it in his classroom. I told him, I said, don't do that anymore. I said, there's a lot of people that don't have the sense of humor that we share, and don't do that anymore. But anyway, I also got did here. They dropped the class and they put on this drop slip. Teacher called me a failure. I don't call anybody a failure. It's just a joke, people. Oh. In fact, a lot of my students do good, so I'm not worried about that. So I type in 1 and I feel good about myself, right? Yay! Now, you can take out as many steps as you want as long as you've done 10, 5, 6, 7, 8 problems right. You can take out whatever steps you want to. If you miss 3 or 4 of those 6, then you don't need to take out any steps. You need to add some steps. Question, great, complaint. All right, we'll let y'all go. Get out of here. Have a good day. I went over on that one. I'm sorry. Don't chastise me.